Hey, welcome back guys. So in this video we're going to talk about choosing a brand name. This is important because it's going to be used on your blog and on social media profiles, and it will clearly communicate what your brand is all about and who it's for. So some examples of a good brand name could be the 4-Hour Work Week, which I'm sure you heard of, W Dating by David D'Angelo, aka Eben Pagan, and then also Profit Copilot is a good brand name because it clearly says what the website is all about. Now, can a brand name be your personal name? This is a question that lots of people ask, and the short answer is yes. You can use your own personal name as your brand name. I'll give you some examples. So, Tony Robbins. Everybody's heard of Tony Robbins. Gary Vaynerchuk is another good example. And Grant Cardone. So these are big personal brand names that practically everyone has heard of. But this is why using a brand name is best. So instead of using a personal name, I will encourage you to use a proper brand name. This is why. Choosing a brand name conveys meaning. So choose a brand name that means something to your target audience. So make it easy to identify what it is you do or what you offer and who it's for. Include a benefit in there as well. So Profit Copilot, the word profit is the benefit. Another benefit of using a brand name over a personal name is that you can remain anonymous, or you can use a pen name. So a good example of that is David D'Angelo, who's Eben Pagan, and he runs W Dating. So his pen name is David D'Angelo. Another benefit of using a brand name is the fact that you can bring in other people under the brand. So if you're running a personal brand, guess who has to show up every day and do the work? Guess who the front man is or front woman is going to be? It's going to be you. And you have to be the face of it. You have to do practically everything that is visible to the public. But if you have a brand that is not your personal name, then you can bring in other people. They can take over for a little while. They can run the show. They can create content for you, and it doesn't matter because it's all under one brand. And ultimately, it's easier to sell your business when you have a brand name. Now, a few years ago, I knew a marketer who was very active. He built a sizable audience on the internet. He was very profitable, but he wanted to retire. He decided that he'd done his bit, he'd made his money, and he wanted to sell the business. What happened? He'd built this business under his own brand. As a result, it was very difficult for him to sell the business. It was practically impossible for him to sell it. So what happened? The business failed because he couldn't sell it. Nobody wanted to buy the business, which was his, even though he was making profit. He was a full-time digital marketer, fairly successful, couldn't sell his brand name business. So learn from that. At that point, when I was speaking to him about this and I saw his frustration, I decided, right, building a personal brand is fine, it's all good if you have a proper brand name in addition. So you notice that sometimes I do stuff under my own name and not the Profit Copilot banner, but everything I do tends to lead back to Profit Copilot. That's what's front and center. That's what I want people to focus on. That's where I want to drive the traffic, because that's the value. So should I ever decide to sell the website, and I have got no intention of selling the website, then should I change my mind in 20 years' time, then it's going to be easier for me to do that. And listen, let's be brutally honest, okay? Your personal name doesn't mean anything. It doesn't convey any anything about what it is you do or who it's for. So it's going to be harder for you to get traction in your niche. So for these reasons, I would really encourage you to just stick with a typical brand name. I'm going to give you 6 steps to choosing your brand name now. So the first thing that you got to do is make a list of all the words that represent your niche. Just brainstorm a list of words and phrases, list them all out. Don't censor yourself, don't give it too much thought, just the first ones that pop into your head. Make a good long list, and then we're going to use keyword research tools like I've shown you how to use previously. You're going to go back to those, have a look at other names, ideas, and hopefully you'll come up with some new ideas, maybe some keywords and phrases that weren't on your initial list. So make this list massive, improve it, build upon it. Think about the benefits of what you're offering, the end result for your audience. What do you promise? You can see that I promise profit. In Profit Copilot, that's what I promise. That's the benefit. And now I want you to combine words that look and sound good. Mix and match different words. Create something that flows easy, that people can pronounce fairly easily, and that looks good. Next, you make sure the domain name is available, and also make sure the social media. I wrote profits there by mistake. Profiles. I meant to say make sure Profit Media. I haven't had enough coffee today. Make sure social media profiles are available. Okay, and we went through that in the marketing channels video to make sure that your domain name and your social media profiles are available. Then I want you to check that you're not violating anyone's trademark. I'll show you exactly how to do that in a second, because we're going to use the uspto.gov website. I'll show you that in a second. But before we get to that, the final step that I want you to take in choosing your brand name is to ask for feedback. Ask friends, family, what they think of the domain name, or the brand name, sorry. Also ask in forums, Facebook groups, get feedback. You never know, someone might give you a new idea that could change things for you. You never know. Okay, let's check that you're not violating trademarks. So here is the USPTO website.gov. That's the United States Patent and Trademark Office. Here we've got a couple of options here. I want you to go to trademarks, search trademark database. Now the option I want you to go with here is basic wordmark search. Click that. And now I want you to search for the brand name that you're thinking about using. So one search term which I know is available is Warrior for not available. One trademark I know is registered is Warrior Form. So let's go with that. And there you can see that this is something we do not want to use in a brand name or a domain name. So I see a lot of people using Amazon in their brand name. That's something that you absolutely want to avoid. So Amazon is completely a registered trademark. So you want to avoid all the big names. You know, any brand name that you come up with. So I mean, we looked at W-Dating, didn't we? Or we spoke about it anyway. W-Dating. There you can see that has been a registered trademark. So we wouldn't want to use that necessarily. Okay, there you go. That's how you can choose the perfect brand name for your website.